Hello everyone, AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink, and I am so excited to be participating in the Simon Says Stamp Spring Plush release blog hop. So there's a whole bunch of us participating. I will have a link to my blog post in the description box below the video, and then links to the other members on the hop. There's going to be giveaways and all sorts of fun things, so make sure to check that out. But first, I am using, this is the new Plush Springtime Chicken set of dies. Super, super cute. And the idea behind these dies is they're meant to be used with felt, and you can create these fun little felt creations. Seriously addicting. I resisted when I kind of first heard of these dies, and then Simon released some Easter egg ones and a cute little bunny one in that not that long ago. And then they contacted me asking if I'd like to participate in this release, and I couldn't resist. And then when it all got here, seriously, I have not been able to put them down. I've been having so much fun. So I did make some felt ones, but I'm going to save them for another video for another day. Because after I made those, I started thinking, and I wanted to try making a shaker card. Or not card, just a shaker creation. So I grabbed this one. This is, like I said, the Plush Springtime Chicken. And I die cut the main body 4 times out of vellum. And then I die cut it 4 more times, just using the scraps I'd left over, just the top area of the head. And these dies are really unique in that they cut out the outline as well as all the holes needed so that you can sew them together, which when you're die cutting with felt, that's awesome because felt can be a little bit tough to sew through without piercing. So this does all the work for you, which is phenomenal. After sewing them together and then trying to sew parts that didn't have holes in them, it makes such a big difference. So I die cut all the pieces I needed from the vellum, and then I lined up these little, I guess I'll just call them heads, on my cutting plate again. And then there's this little scallop die that comes in the set. And the great thing about this set is there's a lot of dies in the set, and they all come on a little magnetic sheet, all pre-separated, all that, so you don't have to even cut them apart or anything. They're ready to go the second you open the package, which I thought was really nice and convenient. So I lined up each little pair of heads there on the cutting mat, and then put the little scallop die where I wanted it. And then I grabbed a scrap of vellum, and I had just tested out some different colors of Copic markers because I wanted to tint the vellum pink. So for these I used RV17. And I made sure to color on what will be the back of each piece of vellum. Like this will be the part that's attached to the rest of the little shaker element and that you won't touch with your skin, because while Copic is technically permanent, on vellum it can be a little bit finicky even after it dries if the oils from your fingers touch it. So I was just careful about that. And so I did all 4 pieces, and then I die cut the comb from MFT's new, this is one of the yellow felts. Since this video isn't about the felt, I'm not gonna go on and on about it, but because I know people will ask their felt, it's a wool and rayon blend, which is perfect for die cutting. It literally die cuts like butter. And with these, I didn't double up the felt. I just used 1 piece for each little chicken, and then I stitched the edges of the pre-pierced holes with my embroidery thread, and that just gave it enough strength so it's not flopping over or anything, so it was fine. And then for the little bodies themselves, I went with a lighter yellow embroidery thread, and I'm just doing, I don't know, is this a whip stitch? I don't know the names of stitches. I am not good at this sort of thing, but if I can do it, anybody can do it. I literally just went around and went in each hole twice. So wrap the embroidery thread around, put it through the hole, did it again, and then just kept going along until it was done. Super, super simple. Making sure I stopped where I'm going to adhere, sew the comb on so that I can open this up, and made sure I was in between the actual little body pieces. And then I have these fun little pastel colored craft medley sequins. So I just sprinkled in some sequins of every color just to create this fun little shaker. And one of the other girls, I think in the hop, I'm not sure, I'd seen it on Instagram, did one with, there's a bunny die about the same size as this, and she put candy in hers. It's so cute. I would do something like that, but then I would keep this more simple because obviously if there's candy in it, it's going to get ripped apart in seconds, especially with my kids anyway. But I thought that was a really cute idea. But for this, since I was making it more decorative, I went with the sequins and then decided I would go a little more all out, coloring the vellum and adding the felt and all that sort of thing. So if I was going to add candy, I would make it basically, I would use just the body, like add, the eye and the beak, and then quickly sew it up and it'd be good to go. It'd be fun. So little jelly beans would be really cute in this. So this is where the first time doing this, it took me a little bit to figure out how I was going to sew the comb on, but I just pierced holes with my piercing tool, and so that I could kind of go around and secure it quite well to make sure that not only was the vellum secured to the felt, but it was also secured and that there was no spaces big enough for the sequins to fall out. That is something to make sure if you're going to do something like this, to put in like sequins or larger items, that anything smaller than the spaces between the holes, there's a good chance it would just come out when you shake it. So these sequins are definitely big enough. So once I was done sewing all the way around, I'm just going to knot this off. So I do a really good double knot, and once it's really tight, it's good to go. So I keep the thread on the needle until I've got the knot tight, and then I'm going to trim that off with my scissors right next to the knot. I'm not too worried about it ever coming undone. If you are concerned about it, you could give it the knot itself a little squirt of multimedia matte, and that'll keep it glued down. And then in this set, there is a tiny little die that cuts out 2 little eyeballs and the beak. And I just die cut it from orange cardstock. And then rather than running it through my machine again with black to get the eyes, I just took a black Copic marker and colored them with that. And I held it in place with my paper piercer there because they're so tiny. And then I used a tiny little dab of the multimedia matte to adhere the eye. And then I held it up so I could see the eye on the other side and adhere the eye on the other side of the chicken because I didn't want him to look like he was totally lopsided and, challenged. So I got that all done. And then to adhere the little beak, I actually just used a dab of hot glue. And then I held it with my tweezers so I didn't end up burning my fingers with the glue gun. And then just to, again, ensure that it's going to stay, I added some multimedia matte again, so that once that's dry, it's held on pretty good. So I was going to leave it at that, but I couldn't resist. There's also a little die in the set that die cuts a little, you can get a flower, a little heart, and then there's a die that does 2 little leaves. So I die cut the 2 little leaves from some green felt, and then added the little flower that I'd stitched with some brown embroidery thread, and that's all there was to it. So super cute. I ended up making a second one, so they're little twins. And yeah, these are really fun. My kids are just going nuts over all these little creations. We are going to have so much fun making this stuff. I'm so excited. So if you're interested in any of the supplies used or checking out the blog hop and seeing all the awesome stuff everyone's made, make sure to check out my blog post below the video, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.